And we are live! Hello everyone, good morning, good afternoon, happy time zones wherever you might be. I'm Emma and welcome back to my playthrough of Pyre, now on part 5? Yes, the stream preview says it's part 5. Thanks, past me. Starting slightly later than intended thanks to some technical difficulties. But then what else is new? So yeah, those of you who were here last time will remember we sent Rookie home. I forgot how to do people's voices. Bertrude joined the team, and we're just carrying on doing some rites. Off to play the accusers. Yes, and we just had the mysterious rites on the island full of imps, some of whom were riding like dodgems on the field, which not helpful. Not helpful at all. As ever, let me know if the audio's got any issues or anything. But apparently there's somebody to talk to in the background. It's Shay, excellent. And was the Beyond Crystal sparkling? I'll check that in a second. So up here we have a tiny tempest. Entertaining, but would unleash calamity if ever it were to be unbottled. I mean, mood, really. Hi, Ray. Ray seems very happy about something and has been chanting softly to herself. On closer inspection, she seems to be engaged in conversation with the wagon wheel. And so, after the rite, he said to me, I think he said to me, farewell. Can you believe it, little brother? He said that, but then he left to go find Mr. Delbert, who went on ahead. Yes, she's still dealing with that crash. God love. And so, I think that maybe we are friends now. Don't you think so too? We have a lot in common, don't we? Friends are supposed to have a lot in common, right? For instance, we're both fighting for those we care about, for those who helped us when we needed it. Is that not so? He is very lucky to have met Mr. Delbert, isn't he? She falls silent for a time, then. It cannot be that the 8 scribes intended that all of us just have to fight each other all the time. It just cannot be. So many who we face, they don't like us very much, do they? Because if we prevail against them, it must mean that they cannot go home, even if they really want to. So that's why they don't like us. Back home, when they told me to stop being me, I didn't like them either. You want to know what I think, little brother? I think that scribes put us together in all this, so we can learn from one another and grow closer together, as friends. I mean, according to the book, you're not far wrong. That is what I think, little brother, and I told them so, and maybe the next time I see Ulma and Mr. Talbot again, they will be happier to see me then. Please somebody tell me you can see this. My stream preview is still not showing me. I'm going to assume that you can see this, and if not, enjoy the audio-only version until somebody tells me. Luckily, my amazing narration. Yes, I am. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Good, good. I don't know why my stream preview doesn't like me switching scenes, but it is just stuck on that title card forever. Excuse me one moment while I refresh it. Let's see if that helps at all. She bounds off, noticing you as she goes.
Ah, Lutista.
Hi, Rita. You sense some burden has been lifted from her, and her knowledge of the rites, however informal it may be, has crystallized into a deeper understanding. Plus one hope. Yay! And in conclusion, boys good, I guess. Sandra, did you have something to say? No? Okay. It seemed like you did, but sure. What have we got in the book? Lord Gandroff, in the words of Under King Oris, a sea sojourner. A warrior of surpassing strength, that Golathanian, Single-handedly, he slew the serpentine Gandroth, which envenomed downside the prairies and verdant plains. Master General Golothanian, who was undeterred by Lord Gandroth's myriad attacks. His lashing tail, it hurled rocks the shape of swords, the braces sharp. His eyes induced brave folk to mewling babes. But Golothanian stood tall and brandished his tower shield, and sent Lord Gandroth's fury back into his monstrous countenance. Now Lord Gandroth takes the shape of a stone ridge, conspicuous, and now as well you know the full unguarded truth about his fearsome past, and Golothanian's glory. Well, good for them. And triumvirate. The Fate, in the words of Hope the Swallow. The Fate united under Many-Mane, the Alpha Chief. He is brash, but follows his traditions. He prizes faith, discipline, and honor, qualities he seems to lack at first. He formed the Fate under the precepts of old bylaws of his four-legged ancestors. They believed in a certain natural order in the way of things. Many-Mane wanted for the Fate to likewise show respect. Initially, he only chose from other Kurds. He, however, urged the Fate to replenish their numbers from any race or ethnic group thus willing. Thus shall they anticipate what is to come, with open eyes and minds, and never frown upon what is in store for them. That was everything? Yes. Hurrah. How's the plan looking? Just out of interest. One right till next liberation. That's exciting. 49% probability of success. Currently we're off to play the Accusers. They're at the top of the table, so if we beat them, they'll drop down and we'll probably be facing the Essence at the Liberation Right. If we lose here, we'll be facing them again. But I'm not planning on losing. Oh, and the Pyre Hearts got a win. Good for them. Genuinely quite pleased about that. So let's continue on. And we fly. And where's the thing? We zoom. The hidden glade of Lu is nigh impossible to find on foot, though there it lies below us, protected even now by the enchantment of Lu's glory under the mountains. I understand the river named for him is rather famous in your commonwealth. The mouth of the river Storian opens wide, not very far from here. The largest river on the other side, which cascades down eternally into the downside. Be gone to distant lands beneath our own, more suited to your kind. Sentencing ceremony. It was there that limbless Arizek was defeated, turning the region lush and livable, at least for certain denizens. Although, of course, not everyone believes this. Limbless Arizek, the root site of the Bengal described historian. Arizek here lives, a husk, a single foul seed still rotting where once something mighty stood. Your adversaries, the Accusers, must be working to find their way there even now. Good fortune in your right against them, reader. And we can land at Cinderroot, Tizo, or Needlefield, or Sir Gilman. Sir Gilman thinks this is good for vocations. Well, I'm going to do that because then we can just finish all the reading of the book. That's exciting. Your wagon touches down in Black Basin, where you first met Volfred and Hammerthor as well. You briefly wonder at what might have happened had your paths not crossed as you consider what to do with the remains of the afternoon. I think we had a new page there, yes. Black Basin, in the words of Molten Relief. The continent we call Black Basin shall one day tear itself apart, arriving upon blackened molten crags tolerable only by the heart of Trieste. We pressed onward towards suffocating wood. This land felt to us somehow primordial. Deep in its roots and noxious crevasses lay innumerable clues to its ancient history. But we had little time to excavate, for our supplies were then thin. Further, we were lost. Our best attempts at circumnavigation all had failed. It was Lu's Glorian who reached out at last unto the stars, and they revealed the way. Then we at last could see the sacred Mount Luna, there in the distance. I'd love it if I had a checklist for kind of which places I still needed to see. Okay, I've been to every region, so Chapter 3 is finished, that's exciting. I've got far enough in the plot that Chapter 1 is finished. Chapter 2, spend money at the market. Chapter 4, visit the celestial landmarks. Well, which of them have we not seen? We've got the Ridge of Gaul, Cairn of Hope, Leaf, Oris, Isle of Calma, or the Solian. Okay, so we're missing the Glade of Lou. We're missing the Nest of Trieste. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Missing Lou, Trieste, and got Hope. Just run. Valley of. No, what is it? Of Jomware. Something Jomware. Okay. The Greater Titans, we've got Endriga, we've got Sungrees, we've got Aranzek, we've got Gandron, we've got Islach. That's all of that. Rights of Flame is finished. The 9 Triumvirates. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we still need to face the Templars, we still need to face the Accusers, and we still need to face... Oh no, the 9 Triumvirates includes the Nightwings, doesn't it? So they're not listed. That's fine. And just do more liberation rights. Okay. Is that rain sound from me or the game? That is the game. It is raining in Black Basin, it seems. Oh, we have a new thing on the shelf. A magma mug. Provides a bit of warmth on cold nights, something at which to not stare. So we've got a lava lamp, cool. Let's survey Needlefield. You volunteered to survey the dense foliage around the Black Wagon, together with Skillman and Jodariel. Ah, my good compatriots, the Master Reader themselves, and Jodariel. Shall we be off then? I love that pose on Sir Gilman. It's very good. I dare you not to love that little snake. The search turns up nothing much of note. Though wandering with Sir Gilman and Jodariel provides a reprieve from a long day on the road. Together you return to the wagon in somewhat better spirits. You should have time remaining with which you may pursue your vocations. Why, yes, I will, except that there is talking to do in the wagon. It's Sir Gilman. Sir Gilman is training intently when you approach. Master Reader, this knight was so engulfed in memories of the Sea Dominion that he failed to detect your stealthy advance on his position. Splendidly done. This knight would have been vanquished by you easily. This knight is fortunate to have you as an ally rather than a mortal foe. His kind routinely clambers from the depths of the Sea Dominion to seek greater glory and perhaps a slightly longer life expectancy within your Commonwealth. Such an honor it would be to be assigned the rank of knight and be conscripted onto the front lines of the Commonwealth against their vicious winged enemies. In the Sea Dominion it was our ultimate goal to fight our way to the surface, past our brethren, past the razor reefs, the strangled kelp, the snagglefins that prey upon our kind. Sir Gilman continues listing undersea dangers and terrors for some time. Past the blood sniffers, the electric scallops, the rogue waves of the frigid current, the paralysing nets of the farfishers, and even past the scalding waters of the glowing trench. Finally, he trails off. Yet, even despite the myriad challenges of living in the Sea Dominion, it is each would-be Worm Knight's duty to abandon that place at his or her soonest convenience. How humorous it was to learn that life within your Commonwealth had quite a bit in common with our existence under sea. It was not all pomp and glory as the story is told. Perhaps it is our lot as Worm Knights to bring strife with us wherever we should go, for even here it seems is our kind pitted both against our brethren and all others. He remained silent for a while, but then... Ah well. It is fortunate that this knight found within this place so fine a company as yours. It is a most different change of pace to strive toward a common purpose rather than strive constantly to outperform each other towards one's own self-gain. Although, to the extent we are competing still, this knight shall ever strive to take the lead. Make no mistake about that, Master Reader. This knight was born to be the best, just like all the billions like him. Now he is off to steel himself. Your pardon, Master Reader. He scoots off somewhere to continue with his self-made training regimen. +1 quickness for the next ride. Very exciting. Let's read a book. Let's finish it. The book seems to push back against you. Your sense of its hidden meaning crumbles under layers of contradiction and missing details, and yet you feel a thorough knowledge of it now. It is more artifact than the book. Its power almost solely rests with the reader, who makes time to form a certain meaning from the many passages unwritten. Yet, the glimpse of knowledge you approached just then called back at you to stop, go no further, not to press too forcefully against the outer limits of your understanding. Nevertheless, for what you recognize shall have to be the final time, inspiration comes to you in a flash, whether from the book or from within. Even now you cannot tell. And that's another thing I like about Supergiant games. Not only do they tend to go heavy on the world building, they tend to do a lot of unreliable world building, which I think adds a lot of kind of realism to the world. Righteousness +2 to 1. Glory for everybody, yeah. You look up to see the lone minstrel there. You had not noticed him. He looks up at you with his strange eyes, a colour not unlike the bindings of the book, and he smiles at you faintly. The moment passes, and he turns to go about his business. He leaves you there. You realise you were clutching the book of rights to your chest. You managed to pull away. See, I don't think I ever got that in my other playthroughs. Let's carry on, shall we? To the Glade of Lou. Such journeying. We have a new page, and we have a Whoa, hey guys, let me tell you something real quick. Now, I happen to have heard that Mr. Greentail, he's moved on or something like that, right? Well, I just want you to know he was one of my most favorite customers. And because of that, I'm giving you the same great deals, okay? Okay. Bunch of stardust, yes thank you. Oligoitish. Whose artifact do we want to improve? Oh yes, Bertrude's got banishment sickness, that's not great. That's maxed out, that's maxed out, that's nearly maxed out. You know what, it won't use up all the talismans, all the stardust. There you go, now fluttering and zipping is literally free, which seems wildly OP. For the jump, bigger flying dunks sounds good. I mean, it's the same, but sure, I imagine that's getting it towards being bigger. That's how you get a repeat customer, that you give them a deal, and we unlock the page. Downside travels, in the words of Jean-Moin Menimane, the Alpha Chief. You cannot survive the downside if you cannot get around. Howlers shall descend on you, or tempests shall shear you to pieces. That's just the way of it. Travelling through the environs is no simple feat. Consider yourself blessed if you were born a cur. If not, however, you shall have to find a means to cross these lands without the benefit of 4 strong horns. Luce Glorian believes this untamed land can be traversed through means unnatural. I thought at first that he meant sorcery, but he suggests invention. He speculates that carriages could cross this land by harnessing its fury. A wild thought. In my case, my paws shall suffice. Yeah, it's still more to unlock in that chapter. But in terms of celestial landmarks, the Glade of Lou and the words of Florian 100 Minds. Never have I witnessed an affront to nature, mine and everyone's, quite like the poison wounds of limbless Arizek, the Moon Titan, in his suffocating influence. I shall leave it to the boastful Underking to tell you more of Arizek's vanquishing, whilst I may tell you something of the glade that he protected, which became my own. For my own genealogy now occupies the soil there and strives forevermore to prevent Arizek from taking root again. The brambles of the glade are constantly encroaching on themselves, then falling once again to dust. This miraculous cycle, reflected in the starlight-piercing moon canopy, needs to be witnessed whenever the stars invite an audience. Florian writing his tourist guide there. Let's do the rite. As you await the stars, a form dressed in the raiments of the rites approaches you at Volfred. You at first presume it for one of your next adversaries, the accusers. But he cannot be one of them.
Huh?
Beside you, Volfred starts, something you've never seen him do. You observe the colours that he wears, an inverse of the Nightwings. Volfred Sandalwood, it has been a long time. No, this cannot be. The demon unfastens his mask. It can. Look at this anime, dude. And I say that with all the love in the world. That's a hell of a design. Look at him. I don't remember you at all. Perished. I watched you fall. You did. I grieved for years, yet now you live. I do. Although these horns, they grew long, Garen. Born again. Unbelievable. Then, why are you here now, Orlech? Ah, yes, he was part of the Nightwing when Volfred was a player, and then he fell off the mountain and was dead, and everyone was sad. Now he's back. You know full well, Volfred, to reclaim what is mine by right. The demon Orlech leaves without another word. Just as the stars above burst to life, he seemed to set the sky aflame. Intrigue. New Titans. Okay, let's turn Gandalf off. We've not used Time Sync Han. Adversaries shall have more stamina. Yeah, that's fine. Star of the Sky Titan once routed by the 8 scribes and fighting hands.
Time Singer Han.
Yeah, I said that. There's also Unfathomed Plurnes. We can make them all faster. This is probably a terrible idea.
Unfathomed Plurnes.
Let's watch me get absolutely wrecked. Although you do have to win under the Titans first
lunacy is this?
Do them.
To appear the Nightwings are to stand against themselves this time around. This is a mutiny in violation of the sacred law. The exile whom you face, Orlech. Long ago he had his chance, and he relinquished it. He cannot simply claim it now. And I cannot preside over this nonsense. Good night.
Just like, no, I am done with you, go away. Also, the music just reminded me, to everyone who was discussing it last time, I have done my research, and yes, in the menu music is a harpsichord. What happened to the accusers? The stars showed me what to face them. They must have suffered a misfortune of some sort. Tampering with the stars' designs is not permitted, Orlech. Cheating the worthy of their rightful liberty is not permitted either, Volfred. You must know I took no part in that betrayal. Search your heart. Orlech says nothing for a time. Then, where are your raiments, Volfred? I have refused to wear them since and show a solidarity to you. Well, I mean, you did wear them that one time when you didn't want Manly to realise who you were, so, yeah. And to elude the voice, I would suppose. Yeah,
Yes, that's just the voice that is shouting us and just was like, no, I am done with you.
Nevaren Lundes.
Yes, that too.
Kirantus.
I see. You were never very good at this anyway.
Tarakuras.
We shall see if that new lot of yours is any better.
Iprete moritas.
Cannot be serious. What sense is there in us standing against each other? Tarlak puts on his mask and stands ready. I shall crush this lot of yours, fall for it. You shall see that I am not so easily discarded, and you shall not deny my liberty again.
Liberatus.
Reader, the adversary whom we face, Orlech, is not one to back down. He was very experienced in the rites even at the time, so beware. There was no one in his day who could prevail against him, and he appears stronger now. I wish I had more valuable advice to give than this. I wish I had foreseen this. Well now. Okay, we can't take Bertrude. Shall I just go with my normal system? So that would be Shay, Gelman, and Panther. Sure, why not? And I just realised that Voice isn't announcing them because he's pissed off. Hey, that's a point. Can I look at their roster? Orlech. Oh, look. Jeez, that's he is high level. My dude. And Gareth and Ixa. I have a bio. Yeah. Shadow, or like the Shadow of the Past. He is a former exile of the Nightwings, betrayed and abandoned in his moment to glory. He's a stern-faced demon who once served the Nightwings, claimed to have been cheated of his freedom, after having toiled in the downside for many, many years. He's reformed his own version of the Triumvirate to which he once belonged, now calling them the True Nightwings. He seems to hate the very essence of the rites. The True Nightwings, a splinter faction from the Scribe's most favourite Triumvirate, led by the demon Orlech. And these are just... yeah, the kind of bystanders who don't get shown with their masks off. You don't get bios or anything on them, it's just, all you know is that they are a member of that triumvirate. I said Gilman, and... I'm normally not keen on getting into other people's feuds, but if you insist. Such a triumvirate you have assembled, Falfred. Then let us see what they can do. Come and face me, false Nightwings. Why, thank you, I will. Why didn't I jump? Ah, not quite in range. That is bad, that is bad, that is very bad. Wow. Wow, I'm getting played, aren't I? Long have I looked forward to this night. Let us now see it through to the conclusion we all know is coming. Ooh, nailed it just in time. Whoop, 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 whoop. And again! Nice. Oh, that was bad. Again, we lose a player when we score. They don't. Oh, no. Oh, except they did that. I know nothing. Big oof. Big oof. Well, I did say we might lose today. I always forget the wind-up time on her run. Whoa, what just happened? Ah, nearly. But just because I'm on the verge of losing doesn't mean I can't fight for it. I don't have the space to pull that play. That's more like it, that's less like it. That was a strong intercept, I can't really fault that. Again, with the wind-up time on that run that I always forget. What the hell just happened? Other than us getting absolutely punked.
Noxalis.
And they say Noxalis as well. Oof. Big oof. Looking at my levels, is my mic up really high? Sorry if it is, I don't mean to just be shouting in your ears, but I can fix that if it is. I seem to be pushing red a lot. Anyway, you and the Nightwings may have experienced your first defeat, but this is not the end. Rather, this is an opportunity for you and your fellow exiles to press onward. Ray, for example, you learned a valuable lesson this night. No sound issues, excellent. I just wanted to check, because like I say, my mic levels say they're redlining a lot, so I just didn't want it to sound like I was shouting and clipping at y'all. A rush of enlightenment gained from surviving a tough situation, awarded only this one time. Through failure, do we tend to learn the most valued of lessons, provided we survive. Yes, you actually get more experience from losing than winning. That's one of the cool things about this game. Ray has learned a valuable lesson, but have I learned a valuable lesson of her run takes a moment to warm up? So too has Sir Gilman, not in spite of this setback with the true Nightwings, but because of it. And Panther is no exception. She's gained more insight here as well. Your fellow exiles also gain enlightenment, learn, grow from what transpired. And your story shall continue. The choice of whether to accept such outcomes, now and all throughout your quest, is to be yours alone. As expected, you call yourselves the Nightwings, but you are they only in name. And as for the rights, it is a mockery of what it once stood for. All of this is a stain upon the legacy of the scribes. Belfred looks on, as Aurelech departs without another word. Aurelech, forgive me. Look at all that XP. This knight wonders at times about why we are here and which forces have transpired to bring us here together. Has Under King Auras himself taken an interest in this noble quest? And we can get him another skill. Quick Draw, which is pretty neat. Or Vigorous Slash after using Slash immediately recovers all stamina. Honestly, I like Quick Draw. It's cool. You can go forward, you can go back and then back forward. Now, whether I'll remember to use it is another question entirely, but Panther also level. Good a time as any to say thanks for having me along on this strange little journey of yours, Rita darling. All of her stats up, that sounds good to me. So yeah, the bit where I turned on 2 Titan stars for that big story fight was a bad idea. And we know this now. Aurelech, he has changed. Scarce resembles now the one with whom we travelled then.
Ti meritabeste.
I am afraid so. I can only begin to imagine what he has been through all these years.
Liberatus.
Reader, as you can see, Orlek and I, we have some years in common. A story for another day. I need some time to look at how all this affects our plan. The plan which is up to 51%, that's not bad.
Liberatus.
Reader, Orlek is a principled person. His freedom was denied him just when it was in his grasp. Doleful tale.
Serature.
Volfred shall tell you more of him in due time, that I have no doubt. But now it seems the stars beseech you once again outside. There, deep in the infinite dark, once more you see a single star shining brighter than the rest. That's right, it's liberation time. And the Titan stars keep waking up in the margins, which is, you know, probably not good. Zilvias the Horned Mare. Haven't seen that one yet. Presumably that will be in the next one. Okay, let's go north. And yeah, because we didn't beat the Accusers, because we did not in fact play the Accusers, they're still top of the standings, so we'll be playing them in this right. When we probably won't turn on 2 Titan stars. Or we might, who knows, I make decisions. Once more then, unto the fall of Solia. Excellent. Our plan proceeds at pace. We need but continue to make good on all such opportunities the stars present so much as possible. Then our ranks within the Commonwealth may yet grow strong enough that we shall sway the people toward our cause. It shall be difficult, but the people have their hearts and consciences. The Commonwealth has long since lost its way. The never-ending wars with the Highwing remnants, the passing of more sentences of exile than ever before for increasingly more dubious causes, the burning of books, the outlawing of literacy, these are corruptions of the teachings of the scribes. Together we shall prove it soon enough. Yeah, how can you as a society claim to follow people who are literally called scribes and outlaw literacy? Just saying. Volfred, sir. What of Orlek? Volfred says nothing in response of her. But then, Orlek appears to have his own agenda now. We shall have to try and keep an eye on him. Although, our plan remains the same. Anyway, we have a mountain which we need to climb. Let's all rest up a bit, if possible, this night. We fly at break of dawn. But first, I have to go and talk to someone. Oh, it's Tizo! Tizo seems despondent following the confrontation with Orlek. Aww. Speaking of, you know when I said I really like that one pose of Gilman's, I really don't like this pose of Tizo's because it's very good and it makes me sad. Tizo is filled with mixed emotions, having seen Orlek again. Like Volfred, he thought for sure that Orlek had perished long ago. Tizo is angry that Orlek had acted so unfriendly. Then the little imp looks at you with sadness in its eyes. He says no more. He skitters up into the rafters. Now I'm sad. Sandra, care to comment? Nah, Sandra doesn't care. Let's just carry on in the morning. Such as it is. And once again, Emperor's Ascent or Emperor's Fall. Favour for Ray or favour for Sir Gilman. Let's go Ray. Why not? We haven't had a scene with her in a few minutes. You land amid the narrow passageways of Mount Elodiel. You know whose summit awaits the liberation right. Thus begins our third ascent to the Fall of Sodium. My agents in the Commonwealth report our plan is proceeding. Let us strive again to liberate one of our own, and raise its chances. And beyond Crystal seeks Bertrude. We barely used Bertrude, and you're already giving her a thing. Sandra, you spoil me. And now that we're your lovely reader again, we can chat. I thought I told you to be gone. She's pushing you away. She did before. Perhaps I ought to cease my services to you if you insist on disrespecting my wishes thus. Would that sound good to you, O reader? Imagine not having access to the loathsome trinkets which I grant you. Imagine those idiots of yours having to get by without my tutelage. I can imagine it just fine myself. I was once a weapon used to kill an emperor. Attempt to kill him anyway. Now I am once again a tool being exploited. Soon to be discarded. Go on then. Leave me be, go about your business, and let us pretend we do not know full well how this shall end between us. Wow. Not getting rid of you, who are our small rock friend and can stay with us. What caravan wouldn't be improved by an angry ghost in a small rock? Bertrude. The old bog crone there, she does have some potential, I should think, more so than most of those with whom you share that little resonance. And that's to bring her forth. Soon Bertrude appears in heat of the sun. We sense that thou hast need of us. The apparition Sandra appears and unfastens her mask. Listen well, crone, you answer to me here. How very eloquent. May your vast experience exceed your knack of pleasant conversation. I trust that you shall have little trouble here without the benefit of your more communicative friends. Now come. They have a whim, and an imp. Wow. Just immediately get shot in the face. Excellent work. Just stellar. Top shelf work. Why, thank you. Why did I do that? Infinite stamina! Not infinite stamina, but it's enough! Wow. After that slightly inauspicious start, just absolutely nailed it. A simple test, undeserving to be called a challenge. I ought to fail you just for gloating, crone, but these are not my rules and your performance was sufficient. Thus you have passed my test. Congratulations are in order to you and your lovely reader. Now farewell. Good riddance to that mouthy wraith. Show us then what trinket she bestoweth upon us. Beneath's tail. Bertrude blast goes through walls. Yes, thanks. I mean, that fairy spirit was great and all, but Everyone gets their legendary, that's how it works. With some time to spare after having landed, you join Ray on a brief expedition to the monument of Solium Myrrh.
Thanks be to each of you, 8 scribes, for it is you who have united us together in this your most sacred tradition. The path and the outcome are the same, is that not so? But I need not ask, but I am sure of it, and so I shall follow unflinchingly the path you have prepared for me.
Soon you and she have finished paying your respects. You return to the wagon in silence, feeling as though Solium Myrrh has shown you favour. You shall soon begin your ascent, though there is time as yet to pursue your vocations. Ray gets +2 hope, very nice. Our vocations, which now number only 2. We can look for valuable things to sell to Ron, buy Stardust with, or we can just directly work with one of our people to give them more XP. Now let's forage. So sort of spend enlightenment here, something for wrong values. Yeah, I want to get money so I can finish chapter 2. There is worth the burden of this expedition. It seems these lands cannot conceal all their secrets. Solemn vow sold for 84. That's a lot. Do we want Pamather to gain favour or Jadariel? Jadariel wants some favour, and we love her. And I feel like we haven't talked much with her. I feel like Hedwyn and Ruki being gone means like her old group isn't there, so she doesn't talk so much. While traversing the sheer cliffs on the way to the summit, you pass a monument to John Ware Manymane, and Jadariel happens to take notice. I wonder if you scribes are listening at all, much less to one such as I, who never held much faith in any of you. Perhaps I ought to have been more open-minded. I am not here to ask of you your favour, but to apologise, for I was certain your time long since past. I was wrong. Soon you and she have finished paying your respects. As you prepare to continue your ascent, you sense that John Ware Manymane has shown you favour. Jadariel has +2 presence, even bigger aura, so much aura. And here we are again. Here's Scribe's Gate. Open the big stone thing. You and your companions arrive again at the Scribe's Gate, before an archway carved in stone, or a big stone thing, if you mean.
Shall we, reader?
The minstrel leads you towards his counterpart. He seems unsurprised to see you all approach. Yeah, this is not the system.
The exiles of the Night Winds, and you again, Taryn. Greetings, Celeste. Aye, we have returned. The stars shine darkly these past nights. Nothing more than an important of your arrival, isn't it? Likely nothing more. Now, they are ready for you. Then come forth, each of you in turn, to state your name, and what it is you seek while crossing the Scribe's Gate. Wait. You.
She points to Bertrude.
You are new among this group. You should go first. Please do as she asks, Bertrude, madam.
We are known throughout the downside as Big Bertrude. We follow Sandalwood, but we are fond of him. He led us into exile, and he should lead us out. The Gate Guardian acknowledges her, and motions for the rest of you to proceed. Everyone does so as before, including you. Once you all have declared yourselves, she regards you all for another moment, and beckons towards the mountain's top.
The 8 scribes bid the Night Winds welcome.
Go forth, glory.
Thank you, Celeste. Until the summit, Taryn.
Here we are again at that big stone book. No new pages, but we can go and talk to Mark. And welcome back, you guys. I don't, know, I guess it's a pretty decent spot for business all of a sudden. Cause used to be, it was real bad up here, you know? I'd be here and just wait and wait and wait, and sometimes it gets real cold, like I was telling you before, and stuff like that. So anyway, you buying anything or what? Well, first of all, I have this solemn powder set here to sell you. I'm sure you appreciate that.
Oh.
Bottled Void. After getting banished, the bearer returns in a burst that draws in nearby adversaries. That's interesting, and I'm not going to bother. Buy some Stardust.
Great taste.
Great taste. I could start buying serums, but honestly I can't bother. What is it to max out? Will that give it... Yes, that would take up to +4. Thank you, yes. So I'll be seeing you guys. Let's go then. Again, you've reached the Fall of Solium, where one among you can go free provided you prevail against the accusers in the liberation rite.
Liberatus, tamta.
Reader, we would ask a moment of your time.
Simpresit.
You have to talk. As darkness falls, the minstrel and Bolfred pull you aside.
Terekragatas.
You have some news that is, depending on how you put it, potentially unfortunate. The lone minstrel directs your attention towards the dark night sky.
Destrale avanza.
The stars are fading. It's true. With the advent of the Titan stars, visibly fewer stars seem to be shining than what you saw in the sky above.
Firinda sare rictus.
Yes, the stars themselves are vanishing. Why, I do not yet understand, but what it indicates is this. The rites are drawing to an inexorable end. The light of the stars. Without it, the rites would be unable to commence.
Terra marem braves.
Anyway, that's the bad news. The good news is there are a lot of stars to go. How many liberation rites remain, I do not know as yet. The arithmetic is complicated.
Mostrate mere.
An estimation of the number of the stars, the rate at which they fade, the accelerating rate at which they summit here. Anyway, I'll work it out as soon as possible.
Rictus naris.
Now, I thought that you should be aware. We can inform the others in due time. At the moment, though, they have this right to think about. So you look forth. As the stars above begin to shine, Bolfred's words begin to sink in. It seems you have a limited number of chances remaining to liberate your companions, including this one now. Now, do I want to leave these two Titans on? Oh, and there's another new one, Sylvia's horse-headed. It turns off the bit where they get banished after hitting the fire. Well, I'm not turning 3 on, that's for goddamn sure. Do I leave these two on? For a liberation rite, I don't want to risk it. Like, I really want to unlock the pages, but...
Time Singer Han.
I'll put Han on, not the other two. And there is a limited time in which I can get the pages. And that looks really cool. If you liberate an exile, their talisman goes back to the wagon, and then you can sell it to Ron and be saddled.
Doubtless the doing of that Orlek in all his bitter spite. For now, your exiles have another chance at freedom here upon the Fall of Solium. So too do your adversaries,
I just noticed Tarek
the
and Celeste cover.
accusers. They fought so very bravely for this moment. Whichever side prevails soon shall send one of its own into
And plus,
the warm
we want to win this because we really don't want them to send Lendl up, because the world doesn't need more corrupt cops. The pyres burn and each of the triumvirates is present, prepared.
Volunta lorigas.
I concur, the pyres burn, and each of the triumvirates is present and prepared.
Regeta noxalas.
Then anointed one of the accusers, come forth now and declare yourself, and pay any respects you have unto your adversaries the night winds. Poised as ever, Lendl steps forward and reaches for his mask. This is a good theme as well. I was branded Lendl the Liar. Once I reclaimed my liberty, that name should be forgotten, and my rightful station in the Commonwealth should be restored. Nightwings, you may have prevailed against me when last we met here upon this sacred site, but the many years since then have taught me much. I shall not fail again.
Consiltaram.
Yet you still hold much resentment for your adversaries, is that not so, Lendl? Resentment is too kind a word for it. They are cheaters, one and all. Unfairly favoured by those scribes, while those such as myself must struggle endlessly for such a chance. Now come, my accusers. Let us vanish those undeserved oaths, and prove now to the scribes that they were fools to favour the likes of them. He dons his mask once more. I am ready. As for you, Nightwings, you bring darkness with you. What have you wrought upon the stars?
Pelantas eres.
Celeste, please. We do not know what is amiss here. The Nightwings have come only to see that the liberation is carried out.
Smatam diamen.
Indeed. Then, make your choice, Nightwings. Who among you is to be anointed here?
Who shall return to glory?
And we have more info on Lendl. What info do we have on Lendl? Ah, no, we had all that Bolfred talks. That's fine. Add that talk. So we've got, we can send Jodie, we can send Gilman, we can send Pamela. I'm kind of feeling Jodie, because if nothing else, because her friends are gone and she's not talking as much. I just feel like it would be good to have her up there. Also, just having her on the side of the revolution seems like it would be an excellent thing, because she's awesome. And I don't know if, I don't know if any demons have gone up to the Commonwealth. That's an interesting thought.
Joe Dariel.
If that is your wish.
Who shall be at her side?
Bertrude. I can now shoot through walls.
Bertrude.
We shall lend our support to that one then. And Tizo? It's Tizo.
Tizo.
Tizo seems very determined to support Dariel.
It is done.
Come then, Nightwinds, and look upon me one last time, for by dawn I shall be free, while you all wallow in the terrible defeat we have in store for you. Yeah, good luck, mate.
Commence.
Get immediately shot. Ah. Zipping with infinite stamina seems broken. So much squeak. Nice, if I do say so myself. You imp. Sing without Tizo from across the sacred ground. Game, stop making me talk over this song. The indignity which you have wrought upon me all these long years, tonight it shall be washed away as I at last return unto my post. Long had I toiled in this abominable place, only for you, pathetic wretch that you are, you of all things, to thwart me and my accusers in our moment of triumph. It was small consolation knowing that the Nightwings fell apart soon after, and misfortune which you doubtless brought yourself. As for we've clawed our way back up to the mountaintop, snivelling loathsome little beast, and this time things are going to transpire in a very different manner. Just you watch. But Tizo just stares right back at him, betraying no emotion. But then he claws at his mask. Certain imp expressions resist translation. Suffice it, Tizo does not hold Lendl in high esteem. It seems Tizo does not hold Lendl's mother in high esteem either. Then he dons his mask once more. Why, you, how dare you raise your weakling voice at me? You blasted Nightwind, we could all go free. So I might have you all arrested and then sentenced once again. Now get out of my way. No. Okay, no, I missed. That's on me. Shooting through walls. Area controlled. I need to stop spending the liberation rights just singing along to these songs and making them worse. Now, accusers, grant me your auras and your anger. We may finally secure our rightful victories against these demons whom we face. And no, only one of us is a demon. He's channeling the auras of his triumvirate, and their strength combined with his. This must be the aura gain. Wow, that's a very anime line. A secret technique developed by the accusers to ensure their victory in liberation rights. Well, that's nifty. Don't know what that did.
That Lendl certainly enjoys a rousing speech, though talk means nothing in the rights.
I don't know, in this case talk seems to have, like... That talk seems to have immediately led to them developing some kind of cool new technique. Oh. Time to zip forever!
With grace.
That does seem broken, I'm sorry. I hope you all like the zip noise. And really, why wouldn't you? It's cute.
Oh, so close.
Yeah, no, I didn't quite know where I was going with that, if I'm honest. Hey, do you like area denial? God knows I do. Ah. Good intercept. Stop doing that noise. You're not as cute as you think you are, voice.
A second wind.
Ah. Thought I'd recharge a jump in time. Didn't. Get wrecked. Ah.
Nightwings.
Dang, aura again. Wow, our home stat is not as high as it could be. These are taking a while to respawn. I could have done that. Didn't press buttons quickly enough. My real problem there. Video games are so often dependent on your ability to press the correct buttons at the right time. Who knew? Can I not dunk it while jumping? No. Wow, I got played a bit there. Get wrecked. Ah. Yeah, I did get pretty shamelessly camped there, honestly, Len. How about I just zip forever, alright? And kill you. Continue to zip and kill you. Grab the orb. Tizo MVP. That's the P at the end of it, for the record. Now the real question is, well, will I remember that joke for the next half an hour so that I can put it in the episode title?
Their adversaries they defeated utterly.
So yeah, in conclusion, I probably could have had all three Titan stars on, because the accusers got absolutely wrecked.
The exile appointed by the Nightwings shall be free, absolved of all misdeeds, return to glory in the Commonwealth. Her adversary
So she can go and find
all
her boys
others shall remain
and start a
to carry
revolution.
out their rightful sentences.
Blast you, Nightwings. Again, you cheated me. Have you no pride at all in this tradition? You're one to talk. With your anime secret moves. And your general dickishness. And also you're a corrupt cop. After all this time. She turns her gaze towards the rest of you. I never thought this day would come. I have all of you to thank for this, doing this for me. The life that I recall back in the Commonwealth was at times difficult, and I am much older now. I know not what I should find in my return. However, I know this. If that place still is like the Commonwealth I left so long ago, then I should strive to make it better, for as long as I retain my strength and breath. See her smile faintly, and she disappears into the shimmer pool. But you can still hear her voice, though faintly now. Farewell then, reader. All of you. For now. Jadariel earned back her freedom. May she return in glory.
Godspeed, Captain Jodariel. The 8 scribes are ever merciful. By
Also, they
their
claim.
grace, the cycle of the rites may yet continue for a while.
Caesar gives thanks to Hope the Swallow for watching over and protecting him. Extra 10 damage when he douses the pyre after zipping for 18 years.
The 8 scribes gave their freedom so that we may yet have ours.
You prevailed in the liberation against the accusers. Wow, there's many pages. Already does the Black Wagon feel quieter than usual without Jadariel, who returned to the Commonwealth. You overhear some of your companions reflecting on this. She has passed from this place along with all her eccentricities. Tiso is trying to console Bertrude with an imp song. You wonder who, if anyone, among you should be the next to go. Then Volfred asks the group to gather. Since you know what news he's about to share.
Everyone,
I must apologise for such this late hour, but I felt that you all wished to know as soon as possible. The context of our plan has changed. The plan is at 59, that's getting better. He looks about at everyone before revealing to them what the stars have revealed to you both. The stars above are disappearing. They seem to just be fading away one by one, for reasons that the scribes alone may know for certain, though we all may harbour our suspicions. See for yourself if you have any doubt that this is so. A hush falls over your companions, all exhausted from the rite. Now, stunned into silence. If this phenomenon continues unabated, Captain, and even shall, then the right shall cease when the stars no longer shine. Permanently cease, that is. The companions exchange glances. You sense negative emotions rising, confusion, fear. Before, I gave you the impression that should the Night Winds not prevail in the liberation right, there would be other chances. This remains so. However, our chances are now numbered. The exact number I have yet to ascertain, but to be quite frank, if there are more of us, we have chances left. You sense your fellow exiles beginning to realize what this means. I know this must be difficult to hear. This is not to be a cause for panic. Our plan remains essentially unchanged. We shall take which opportunities arise and return as many as we can. I urge you all to take whatever time you need to leave this room. At dawn we shall head south again to Moonlight Alcove. We can discuss this further then. Now, please get some rest. Our path grows harder, but not insurmountable, not while we stand together. We can still prevail. The group disperses. Some whisper in hushed tones, others turn to their quarters speechless. There will be time later to better understand this omen. Tarek wants to talk. After the liberation of Jadariel, you find the lone minstrel back in the wagon, looking as though no such thing had just occurred this night. You think you see him tilt his head as you approach.
Oxaritas.
Some words of congratulations are in order this evening, I should think, reader. And so, congratulations on prevailing in the liberation rites. Surely Jadariel should be most grateful, and her safe return unto your commonwealth ought to benefit the plan in which you all now play a part. As for your adversaries of the accusers, this must have been a bitter loss for them and landlord, though they must have known their chance was far from certain. Thus shall we all await the next turn of the cycle of the rites. Celeste and I are to return to our respective duties for the time, as now Scribe's Gate is sealed. I await when next we all shall meet, when next you may yet live up to the glory of the Night Winds in the eyes of the 8 scribes which yet shine down for us. He trails off then, nods to you in his cordial manner, and bids you a good rest of the evening. Well, we had new pages. Time Singer Han, in the words of Uncle Horace. The tempest ravaging the downside are the handiwork of the Time Singer Han, known as the Sky Titan. The furious elements there are his troubled dreams, manifested in his troubled land. We in the Eight, we sought to cure him of his ailment, for his unrelenting and unpleasant dreams had long become our treacherous reality. One night we drew him toward the Rite of Flame, a stratagem of Solium Mer's design. There he was stricken by the stars, dazed and overcome by their eternal shining void. The Sky Titan thus bonded with the sky. The tempests which remain, they are at lasting traces of waking dreams. This gets really kind of mythopoeic sometimes. Yeah, sometimes. The triumvirates, the accusers, in words of hope. How? The accusers formed under Golothanian. He is a big man. He values justice, loyalty, steadfastness. Golothanian, he says that the accusers take their name from one of his most accomplished legions from his former military days. All among them, in fact, served the Master General at one time. They represent the stoutest-hearted people of the Empire, who held true to Mer and Golothanian to the end. The golden colours of their raiments are reminiscent of their old shining armour, is his claim. Ever shall they seek out those with the truest spirits and the strongest sense of purpose to replenish their ranks. And in the final chapter, on Commonwealth, on kinship. Each one of us within the Eight, besides the imP, we would have perished in the downside if we had not found each other, and together formed our union. Here in the downside all are bound, but that which binds us here does have some latitude. We chose the bond of kinship. Our exile took precedence over our differences. The Empire, which has subjugated all our kind into a tense alliance, shall give way to a society in which our differences are paramount.
There may you embrace your ancient cultures, whilst jointly forming a great cultural war its own. Next to mercy, it is kinship that shall form the bedrock of our commonwealth.
Yeah, about that. Okay, well, on we go. The path to freedom, or in this case, to sleep.
Good morning, everyone. We are at the mercy of the stars. None can say how soon they'll shine for us again. Let us recover for a while of moonlight alcohol and decide how to proceed.
Let's. Oh wait, I need to click on it. No one must talk to us, let's bide our time.
Best make yourself as comfortable as possible here for the time, Nightwings. The rites ought to commence again before we know it. Till then, be well.
Thus, you and your companions remain on the mountaintop, waiting for the stars to shine again. And listening to some really chill music. The cycle of the rites is ending. The news that Volfred and the Lone Minstrel revealed to you now threatens to disrupt the group's resolve. Who most deserves their freedom? Can there be any hope for your revolutionary plan to change the Commonwealth if too few exiles manage to return? These questions hang like a fog over you and your companions as you linger there on Mount Lodial. For now, the exiles of the Nightwings vow to stick together, for as many opportunities as they shall have. Many moons pass. One cold evening, Volfred finds you off on your own. What do you chat with?
There's a room this time.
Well, they can. It's time once more. Come see.
Volfred indicates the sky. Through the snow you see that he's right. Soon all of your companions are gathered. Volfred regards the group in his steady manner.
As you all know, I have refrained from participating in the rites myself. This was a long-held choice of mine for a variety of reasons. Chief among those reasons is so I might direct our plan free from unwanted attention, both from our adversaries here and those who will oppose us in the Commonwealth. Another reason is my past experience conducting the rites. It did not end on good terms. Before my time, the Nightwings comprised 3 exiles: Brighton, Arisa, and Aurelach. Little Tizo was with them as well, still learning their ways.
You haven't heard about Brighton before?
After Brighton regained his freedom in the liberation rites that night, the Nightwings took me in. A story for another time, but for one thing I had the capacity to read the ancient book. Anyway, when next we earned our way into the liberation rite, Aurelach was anointed for return. He had long been in exile and his horns were beginning to show. We prevailed. Little Tizo snuffed the accusers of Pyre, and thus Aurelach earned his freedom. However, just as the Shimmer Pool was to engulf him, Arisa, she shoved him from the precipice and took her freedom in his stead. She perished, of course. Only the anointed can transcend the Shimmer Pool, but she thought the warnings were a myth and paid the price. She was always restless. I presumed Aurelach perished too, to survive a fall from Mount Lodial. I was left alone. Subsequently, I made no attempts to reassemble the Nightwings, knowing that such treachery, such harm was even possible as part of this ordeal. I frankly still do not hold Arisa entirely at fault for what transpired. I hold instead the Commonwealth responsible for it put us in this desperate situation. And I resist the urge to think the rights may be partly to blame as well for pitting brother against brother, sister against sister.
Volfred breathed a deep sigh.
Now I see that Aurelach yet lives, at a time when our plan is already in motion. And even the stars are fading. Perhaps a signal that the scribes themselves know that the Nightwings are divided, and that they do not approve. But I choose to take it as a sign that we must act. The scribes have put us in a set of circumstances where each one of us may rise to the occasion. The Nightwings and our plan need all the help that they can get, and so I have made a decision which I wish to announce here to you.
Renam Noxalas.
In the name of the Nightwings, reader, by your leave, I would conduct the rites again. Long have my skills languished in the matter I have met, although I trust I shall regain them soon enough. While I once vowed never to conduct the rites again, our present situation calls for all our resources to be brought to bear. So if I may be of use during the rites to come, I shall avail myself. That's all. Now then, our reader shall determine where we are headed come first light.
Fulford bows his head to everyone, while the others exchange looks, then, one by one, salute him in turn. Yeah, and that's the team complete. Like, that's not a spoiler, it's we've got 9 people, 1 from each group, which is kind of the whole recurring motif in this game. Once more, the several stars shine bright in the night sky, revealing several paths for you to pursue towards salvation. Now, if Trieste or John Ware is in this, I want to hit that, because they're the 2 celestial landmarks I have logged. But they're not. Oh, but I can play the Tempers there, who are tough, but also I need to get them in my... I was about to call it an almanac in the Book of Rites.
Again, we are to face the deepening Nereus, who's the Tempers. He is living proof of how the rites favor more strength, will, and body.
Fulford then offers you such details as he knows of your next adversary. Ignarius, a long-time resident of the Downside, as evidenced by his appearance. The strongest of the Tempers, he has waited years to earn his freedom. Born to a middling Commonwealth family, he got into trouble early and often, but found his calling in the Commonwealth's not entirely legal red light district. There he took many jobs, most involving sheer size. Most notably, he was a bouncer at the Starry 8, where he came to symbolise his reputation. An infamous tavern in the Commonwealth. It's widely believed that Commonwealth officials sometimes showed up incognito here to blow off steam. Yeah, that tracks. One day, a particularly belligerent guest got under his skin, so he gave him a tremendous thrashing. The club clientele all gave a cheer. However, this guest turned out to be a wealthy chamberlain who then exploited his connections to have Ignarius arrested and then exiled. This was 14 years ago. In the Downside, Ignarius dropped his given name, as is sometimes custom, and survived alone through his tenacity and strength. In time, he drew the notice of the Dampers, who revealed to him the rights, recruited him into their ranks, and let him work his way up. Now at last it's his turn.
Ignarius struggles to return to a place that wants nothing to do with somebody like him. He should never have been exiled. Anyway, my kin, I'm off to rest.
You wish a good night to Wilfred. Your travels should continue at first light. Nobody wants to talk, but we did have pages. The afterword, oh, it's a whole new section. Final thoughts and an alphabetical index of key terms, people, and places, and ideas. That's neat. A list of terms which you may wish to know. As an exile of the Downside, as reader of this book, and as conductor of the rites, you are engaged now in a cycle which has lasted since the dawn of this age. Here within this part of the book is offered a summary of all key figures, locales, terms, natural phenomena you shall encounter, either first-hand or in passing on your path. To know the history of the Downside and the rites is to prepare yourself to walk the path towards enlightenment, and then to liberty itself. Should you be free again, remember, reveal not the rites themselves, nor the existence of this book. Jeez. I mean, we know these things. Many things, many things. A list of the 8 scribes. Okay, I'm gonna read this page just because there's some interesting background details here. The 8 scribes. Golgolothanian, known as the Master General, and the Nomad Scribe. He wields the legendary Tower Shield Oath-Taker. I just really love lists of... I'm into sagas and old folktales and stuff, and just this kind of classic oral tradition thing of listing here's a notable person, here are all their attributes, here's a notable person, here are all their attributes. I like this. Come on, I've read Guluchanolan out loud, and that has just pages of describing the colour of all of a knight's equipment. It's a thing. Apologies. Hobe the Swallow, known as the Accursed and the imp Scribe, possesses the legendary Wings of Misfortune. John Ware Manymane, known as the Alpha Chief and the Curse Scribe, he wields the legendary Jawblade, Kneebender. Now I'm thinking about curs with Jawblades. Why have we not seen any of that? Luce Glorian, known as 100 Minds and the Sap Scribe, he wields the legendary Staff, the Genealogy of Sglorian. That's a nerd name for a weapon, my dude. Can I not see the next? Wow, the inspect only shows you the left-hand page. My dudes. My dudes. That's bad design. I'm sorry, Supergiant. I love this game a lot, but that's not great. Mortimer Leith, known as the Wild Witch, the Crone Scribe. She wields the legendary lantern, Flame of the First Hag. Solian Mur, known as the last of his name and the Demon Scribe, he possesses the legendary black nails of the Fallen Emperor. Is that a weapon, or are those just his nails? Triesta Tithys, known as the Blessed Born and the Harp Scribe. She wields the Holy Scepter of the Saurian Empire. That seems like what the former Emperor should have, but hey, what do I know? And Under King Ores, known as the Sea Sojourner and the Worm Scribe, he wears the legendary Bladed Mail Silverfish. Here's all the triumvirates. Oh, and it actually has a description of everybody's sigils. The Accusers have the Shattered Scale, the Beyonders the Forked Scar, the Chastity the Moonflower, the Distance the Leering Moor, the Essence the Empress's Tear, Fate have the Awakened Eye, the Nightwings it's the Cresting Moon is our sigil, apparently. I can see that. The Pyre Hearts have a Burning Heart, the Tempers Black Nails, and Withdrawn the Far Mountain. Denizens of Sar, these are just your races, like ethnic groups. Regions of the Downside, I mean we've been to all of them. The Celestial Landmarks. Spring of Jomware, that's it. Oh, a list of the greatest titans, so we can see how many we've still got left to go. So we've not seen anything of Balanthius, the Hive Titan, Dolnis, the Locket, the Ash Titan, Shax's Six Shoulders, which is still hard to say. We haven't seen his star yet. The Tattered Mantle, and that's it. We've seen all. So what's that? And we still got to score them, like the pages for a bunch of them for Zilvias and for Plernez. Okay, so how many is that left? Zilvias, Plernez, Tattered Mantle, Shax, Dolnis, Balanthius. So that, yeah, there's still another 6 titans to get in the book, or try to before the game ends. The Olden Stars. Descriptions of all the star signs. That's neat. I thought that said capitalist. No, it's Capriast. That's a better star sign to be born under. The Star of the Seventh Jester. Those born under it are complicated. Relatable. And I've only just really noticed, like each of them is clearly related to. It's just a Western zodiac sign, isn't it? Yeah, because they're just Aquarius, Aries, Capricorn, Cancer, Leo, Libra, Gemini, Pisces, Sagittarius, Scorpio, Taurus, and Virgo. Yeah. Huh. I mean, I kind of thought so when you have ones like Scorpius and minion, but yeah. Cool, and that's the end of that book. Still got more pages to find in it. Sandra, anything to say? For now.
Instrusamtis.
She's still mad at us. I think she's still mad at us.
Igriata ligaratos.
Right, and that was me getting out of the Black Wagon because that triggers an autosave if it decides to crash when we come off break. I've fallen into that trap before. By before, I mean literally last time I played this. Okay, so... Yes, it is 3:30. I've done a lot of talking and lost a basketball game. So I am going to go on break for a bit. Yeah, I just need to go and hydrate and stretch and all those things you keep shouting at me to do in the chat. And, you know, feel free to go and do them yourselves. I will be 5-10 minutes, and then I'll be back, and we can continue on the next cycle of the rites. Very excited. Yes, much of Ulfrid talking, and that is another voice that is surprisingly hard on my throat. We did it, we bullied Emma into self-care. Yeah. Or so you think. I won't be on camera when it happens. Anything could be actually happening. Anyway, yes, I'm actually going to go now, so I will be back in probably about 10 minutes. See you then. And we're back, and the game hasn't crashed yet. Hello. And apparently while I was gone, we were roasting explorers in the chat, which is entirely fair. Should we continue our journey? I think we should.
I do so hate to thusly contact you, O reader.
Okay, this is happening.
Yet an awful rumor reached me recently that you have within your retinue a traitor to the Nightwings and the Commonwealth alike. But you would never harbor such a traitor, now would you? I trust your time within the downside would have taught you that.
I mostly don't trust you, my dude. You rise after a fitful night of slumber. Somehow the voice, which thus far has reached you only in the rites, has found its way into your sleep as well. You shake free of it. The time at Moonlight Alcove has made everyone restless. The group is eager to set forth at your command. South we go. Because everywhere's south from here. As the wagon soars across the skies above Wakenwood, you notice Falk appears lost in thought. You cannot sense straight away what he's thinking. Not mind me, reader, it is simply being here in this vicinity. It brings back a lot of memories. It gives me much to ponder. I hid within the woods for many, many years, making preparations for our plan. I cast aside my raiments and became untraceable. There I waited for the plan to germinate. So, it means a lot now to be here, above that place you lost. Quite the view, would you say, my kin? Indeed. Oh wait, this is where we're going. I can land. Phasma's Trench, Bertrude thinks we'll find something of value. Hunting Pass, Scribe to bless us, or Ragged Rock. Ray wants to go there. Who am I to say no to Ray? We love her. This is a Ray appreciation channel. Oh. Also Volfred is here. What's sparkling over here? Oh, yes, we now have Volfred's bio. Just all the inspiration in the world. Plan maker. By day, he was an unassuming history professor. By night, he operated a small but illegal stamping press of his own design, which he used to disseminate provocative ideas concerning how a truly peaceful Commonwealth might look. When his underground press was at last discovered, it was publicly destroyed. Eventually, he too was found and cast down. In the downside, he was taken in by the Nightwings. Alliance would sort someone with his experience. Since then, he hatched a long-term plan to recruit like-minded individuals who might stand together to usher in a new age for the Commonwealth. He was a professor. He taught enough history to know that what he was forced to teach was not the whole truth. Professors of the Commonwealth were sworn to administer only the approved doctrine. He's a Cassius, born on the 21st of 6th moon, suggesting he's contemplative and passionate. His crime was publishing, owned and operated a stamping press using it to spread anti-Commonwealth propaganda. Records state he sought to undermine trust in Commonwealth doctrine and tradition, and he's been here for 9 years. There. Alfred appears to have finished sealing some sort of document. He smiles as he approaches you.
Ligaristas.
Hello, my kin. Was just on my way out to make a drop. Reporting in progress. Our supporters on the other side should like to know.
It's not clear to you as yet exactly how Alfred is able to communicate with agents in the Commonwealth.
We have our ways of making certain such messages manage to make their way to who they need to reach. Most of the time, at least. Not exactly the most dignified of methods, but the messenger imp is as hardworking as the rest of us. Or I dare say more so. Most imps lack the capacity to do that job. They of course cannot traverse the outer boundaries of the downside, but they can squeeze much closer than any of us.
Alfred offers to tell you more of this process. It seems that he's been using certain imps to relay messages to his agents in the Commonwealth for some time now.
From that point, we depend on certain other means. A trafficker like Rookie would likely be familiar with. Then my agents intercept the messages as they arrive. The messages are coded in the off chance that they reveal themselves before our wanted eyes. But even still, my agents put themselves in great peril by supporting our cause and our plan. We could not ask for a more dedicated bunch. A shame we cannot meet them separated as we are. If we succeed in our endeavors, it shall be thanks in no small part to them. They have identified hundreds of citizens who are loyal to our cause, found hidden corners where they can speak freely. Their goal is to grow in numbers while remaining safe. For we cannot resist the Commonwealth if too few citizens stand with us, whether due to apathy or fear, or lack of willingness to see our nation as we do. Some of these agents I've known for many, many years, since long before my exile. Many were former students from my days of teaching Commonwealth doctrine. It was clear then who among us did not take the Commonwealth. These days I report to them our progress, and they in turn report theirs back. That assessment, I update the estimation of our plan's success. Our chances of success increase substantially each time we integrate one of our own. Those loyal to us in the Commonwealth slowly gather strength regardless of our efforts. Thus do we inspire each other, not like the dynamics which I see among the Nightwings here. Now, get up, reader. I've a delivery to make.
He strides out the wagon bearing the sealed message. And note to self. Next time a character is going to be talking for most of the game, give them a voice that's more sustainable. In spite of having checked earlier, you realise the Black Wagon suffered some damage to one of its wheels. Ray is already working on repairs, but not having much luck. I thought I could fix this, but I can't fix it myself. Hours later, the wheel is fit for travel again. While fixing it seems to take a toll on her. Lost one hope. Why did we come this way? Oh, didn't we have that event before and Jody helped out with it? Maybe that's what the issue is. Well, let's continue on, I guess. Boat mode engaged. The wagon comes to a sudden stop after a near miss with someone or something that got right in its path. At first, you see no sign of whomever or whatever it was, and then a voice rings out from off to the side of your path. The friendly, yet somehow aggravating tone leaves little room for question as to who it is. Hey guys, so maybe watch where you're going a bit more next time, I guess. You must have scared Dad half to death. I mean, just look. But it's good running into you like this because I got for you a really special deal. We got some pretty out there stuff on hand, and it's been slowing us a bit, to be completely honest. Yeah, something about him I don't know, but Dad just hasn't been himself. But once we open the shop, why these little numbers they're gonna go flying off the shelves. You can have first dibs. All you gotta do is give us a lift, as you're headed to the Ultimaris, right? Just drop us off when you get there, okay? Black Wagon does not provide for you the most spacious accommodations, but it may have room enough for Falcon Ron, barely, at least for the short remaining of your trip. On the other hand, you sense a troubling energy from whatever strange artifacts it's transporting right now. Wonder whether you should get involved. The thought of having to travel with Falcon Ron fills you with a nameless dread. Yeah, sure, why not? Though your fellow exiles exchange cautious looks, you invite Falcon Ron to climb aboard. Oh great, thanks guys. I'll just squeeze right in, just... He does not. Dad, come on, put your back into it already. Eventually, Falcon Ron manages to get on board as you prepare to set forth again. Welcome aboard, for now. After what felt like an interminable trip, during which Falcon Ron did not even once cease to speak of matters relevant only to him, you reach your destination. Yeah, I've known those people. Anyways, thanks guys. Remember what I said? These sneakers I got here, you got dibs on them. If you come and visit me and Dad, that is. Now we'll be going, so be seeing you, okay? Whether from Falcon Ron's ceaseless dribble or the ill effects of his cargo, everyone's left feeling out of sorts. -5 glory for everyone! Ron, what do you do to me? Jesus! Suddenly I'm feeling a lot better that I spent all that time reading the book, because at least that mitigates it a little, but jeez! Try not to think about it as right. Ron, we need to have a talk. Hey guys, thanks again for helping me and Dad back there. We really owe you one. And so, as promised, I got something really, really good in stock for you right here. He pauses for dramatic effect, and then he reveals to you several artifacts: Black Boot, Black Heart, and Black Claw. Well, these look cursed as all hell. They emanate with energy that cannot possibly be completely healthy. Nice, huh? You guys, you got first dibs on these bad boys, and I can tell you what, they're gonna go fast. I dislike it. It's a cursed talisman. The bearer's aura remains while grasping the orb, but can't be cast. Huh, that's an interesting playstyle. Like, give that to a demon or something. Black Heart, after getting banished, bearer either returns with infinite stamina or as a fast-moving howler. And the bearer has double stamina but can't hold the orb. And they're all one of 3 scattered remnants of a thrice-cursed demon who roamed the downside in a state of madness. You'll excuse me, I'm actually going to look that up. Because this feels like there might be... like, optional content or something. And I don't remember these at all. Okay, no. No, it's just they do what they say. There's nothing special for like using all 3 of them together or anything. Thought there might be. And I may as well sell Solium's Horn for another 107 soul. So much soul. I'll buy that just to boost. Nah, actually, I was gonna buy it for Volfred while he hasn't got his legendary, but honestly, like, Fairy Spirit is probably better, or Mooncrest, or the Ashen Coal, they're all good. Yeah, no, I think you're good, Ron. I appreciate you doing business, and you guys be sure to tell your friends, okay? Well, I should really just start spending some money to unlock pages. Nah, who cares? Comments the right. Though the now familiar surrounding the Pulverborus made preparations faster than before, the stars were already aflame by the time you and the others gathered. At last, look at him, he's in his rings.
Well, Bertrude, I have every faith in your ability in this.
It is more testing of our patience than our raw capacity. Fear not in the outcome here. You wish them all good fortune in turn. Little else is said, and together you watch the celestial harmony in calm and silence, and await the tempers. Yes, but I get the feeling you're designed to hate Ron voice. Okay, so I can turn on off. Also unlocked Violanthius. They all do an extra 5 damage, which is a bunch, but I have this great plan where they're just not going to score.
Violanthius.
And I still need to get Sylvias and Plurnes. Well, Sylvias is fine because they're never going to score.
Sylvius Horse-Headed.
Ron has a voice like those people who try to tell you incorrect facts about a comic book you've read every issue of. Yes, exactly. Plus quickness, actually, because they're demons, like their slowness is one of their biggest weaknesses, so I'm not going to give them that buff. So, this is probably unwise. Given that every other time I've activated 2 Titan Stars, I've lost. Or 1 time.
Reader, or should I say deceiver?
No, you shouldn't.
For I detect another exile in your ranks. The exile Volfred Sandalwood himself, that cursed sap.
Been here all along, my dude.
I ought have known he was behind all this.
Yeah, that's really on you.
He has no love for our sacred tradition.
Should he?
Yet you would heed his poisoned words over mine own?
He shouts at me in my head, lad.
I thought that we were friends.
Did you?
Then fine. Let us return to a more formal distance.
Does that involve you not getting in my head while I'm asleep?
Hey, look who wants a piece of us again. It's the damn Nightwings. Here to knock us down another peg or 2, I guess. Well, at least you got all curly horns out of this dump. Hear that? One look at her and you just knew that she was too good for this place. Then maybe that ain't saying all that much. Any of you Nightwings see her again, you tell us something wrong. You let her know he says hi. You let her know.
I don't think she cares, my dude.
Not that she'll remember some dumb luck like me.
Okay, like, you clearly have your own self-esteem issues, but that doesn't mean you're entitled to her attention, my dude. Then Ignaria shoves on his mask.
Alright, Tempers, let's give it to him like there's still a chance.
Wow, that's a rousing pep talk.
We are like him, let us confer a moment here. I have returned now to the rites, a tradition that I have once disavowed. Now that I have donned the raiments, the voice knows that I'm here. It is no matter really, for our plan is well in motion. All that remains for us is to prevail. I shall aid you and the others in this task as best I can. Let us see now whether these old limbs of mine are still of any use.
And there he is at last, alive and well.
Yeah.
I
Wow,
know
he
that
is
you can
slow
hear
and
me,
bold.
Sandalwood. You're causing quite a stir out in the Commonwealth.
Hold. Actually,
You plant your little seeds of discontent.
I'm trying to narrate, my dude.
Know that your designs at sowing chaos shall not be tolerated
My dude.
here.
I was talking.
Now, good evening to you.
Is that the sound of you going away? Excellent. Love it. Okay, so X, which is the jump button which I forget exists, is an aura shield. Deflects adversaries' auras, that's neat. Runs on stamina though. Press right trigger to blink. Okay. Just straight teleport, there's a little bit of a cooldown time after it. Hold B to spawn a sapling. And create choke points. Said before that I liked area denial. Here's some high-class area denial. Press Y to proceed.
Melbourne Nightwings. I look forward to conducting the war, when of course the reader calls for us to stand. If and when of course the reader calls for us to stand as a triumvirate together.
Well, that'll be now, my dude. You know the system well anyway.
Who shall it be this time?
We have more Biofregnarius. Oh, it'll just be what Vulcan told us, won't it? Yes. Okay, so we've got to take Volfred. Oh, we haven't given him a talisman. That's the Ashen Coal seems like his thing.
Volfred.
Probably Bertrude. Yep.
Bertrude.
And I think Shay. Yeah.
Ray.
Ray. She's not Shay in this game. That was in my original playthrough. We await the ancient rites commencement. Alright, you damn Nightwings, let's see what you've got. Let's. For I myself do not know what I've got. Let's
Commence.
area denied.
Oh?
Get wrecked. Slither.
Your adversary's Pyre is the first to falter.
Yeah, it is.
Your Pyre sputters.
Wow, I barely even saw what happened there. I
The
was looking at
Nightwings seem
the
to be
notification
falling
for that
behind.
feat of glory.
Oh, boo.
Wind up time, also maybe jump occasionally. Cool. Just don't actually do the thing and get stuck on the geometry. That's really helpful, Bertrude. Thanks so much. Ah.
A stifled effort.
Okay, that aura clearly went over you.
Now toward their flames. Oh, my word.
Oh, your word indeed.
The Nightwings edge closer to victory.
Okay, way to just run straight into my sapling.
Sorry,
Aye.
Wilfred.
That was the arena physics was what that was. Ah, that one was on me. Ah, almost had that.
Proper dancing. The Nightwing's adversaries gained an edge.
That went quicker than I thought for some reason.
All of the tempers gone.
Then if she just wants to not go at all in the directions I'm saying, that would be super great, extremely useful. Ah, thought I'd get the taunt in, did not. You're doing that thing again where you just all run directly into my aura. I mean, it's handy, I won't deny. Ah, thought I could dash out of that. Did not.
None left unscathed.
I don't know what just happened. I legit don't know what happened there. See that, Nine Wings? We still got a lot of fighting us now, don't we? This game is getting tougher, it must be said. It's almost like I keep removing my best players from it or something.
Sinners!
Ah! Almost had that.
Well, I dare say.
How did you just walk straight through my blast? Okay, well, I guess I may not win this.
The orb is loose.
Oh my god, Volfrid, just make it into the damn pyre. I know you are old and out of practice, but my dude. And then if you're not just get... Oh my god. Some of this is me playing badly, some of this is the game fighting me. Debated.
The orb slips from your clutches. Vanished each in turn. No, you don't.
Should have blocked that, didn't. Is a sentence I say in most video games at some point. You don't defend well in, like, any game.
Such wherewithal.
A couple more of those without getting hit, I'm in. Oh, that was a narrow save. And that was just stupid, Ignarius.
No sign of the Tempers for the time.
Oh my god, that actually worked. Okay, if Bertrude can get it in one more time, I win. If they get it in one more time, they win. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on!
And it is done. The Night Wings
Ah!
Mayhap the scribe shall simply smite them down next time.
Okay.
The rite is done.
Oh, adrenaline. Okay, yep, that... How did I manage that? I'm occasionally good at video games, it seems. Who could have seen that coming? Ugh. We Tempers, we were damn unstoppable. This again?
The eight
Sorry, my
scribes
dude.
bless
Kind
us
of.
with their ways.
Ray has leveled. I feel so overwhelmed, I think, because scribes, I think they speak to me and lift me up whenever I begin to think that I'm going to fall. Better throwing, I never do that, but infinite stamina while having the orb sounds great. if I can ever work out how to use her sprint properly.
That Wilfred always was a little slow to pick things up.
It's been a while since my last outing as right. Thank you for your continued patience as I regularly away.
And I'm glad I gave him that coal, because we would have lost without him. So, his trees are ability to spawn saplings and protect his triumvirate, or his ability, or his triumvirate's ability, sorry, to persevere. So we have, if banished, a sapling immediately guards the Pyre, which is nice. Or, what's per right, we get 10 life res if they beat us, putting up to 40 life res. Or when we're all banished, they're slowed and cannot use abilities. Yeah, I think this... I always like ones that kind of give passive effects to everyone.
'Tis the wisdom of old 100 Mines.
And we did that with 2 Titan stars on, I forgot.
Until
Get
the
it.
next right.
Back in the Black Wagon, you're taking some time to recover after vanquishing the Tempest in spite of almost having lost when Volfred approaches. I love that it actually calls out how you won each time, like the margin. It's just a nice little touch.
Salas Roteran.
The Nightwings are in capable hands these days, my kid. Thank you for your continued efforts given all the challenges we face. The rites may be ending, but we still have time to achieve our plan, especially if you continue to prevail like that.
We prevail better than that. 61.
Come, let us see whom we shall swear against when next the stars align.
Stars yet shine for you, revealing various paths forward. Seeking now our destination. We have Kalma, we have Lou, we have John Ware, excellent. I needed that one for our Celestial Landmarks. Who are we playing there? The Withdrawn? Yeah, don't love it, but here we are. You are set to re-encounter the Withdrawn, led by Witcher Melder. However outlandish her intentions seem, you will not be aware of her. He then reveals what he's learned of her and her design. Witcher Milder, one of the Bog Dwellers and head of the Withdrawn, a triumvirate more interested in legends of Isla and the Astral World than in the rites. Her kind was known to be reclusive in the Commonwealth, yet she was brazen in her disdain for common values. She practiced the unspeakable. Somehow one day her research into flammable reagents grew into an obsession with Isla, despite widely held belief that he's dead or never did exist. Milder held that Isla is merely dormant and shall someday be reborn with newfound hunger, which could only be sated by devouring the world. Then at last could Isla return to his glorious home, and Milder would go with him. Again, this is such a good theme. I mean, like, all the teams have such good themes, all the music in this game is just top 10. When Commonwealth officials showed up to take Milder in for spreading unrest, she was all too eager to comply. After all, a sentence to the downside meant being that much closer to his last resting place, where she believed she had much work to do, where the Withdrawn stood ready to assist. Okay, Tarek, did we need this briefing? It's like, these are all things we knew, because you have one conversation with her and she's immediately like, cool, but let's talk about Isla. In short, the 8 scribes certainly would not approve of what she aims to do. So be careful in her presence, reader. And for now, good night. You bid the lone minstrel a restful night in kind. It's too late to take flight, so you expect to press onward in daylight. 3 new pages, and also Volfred wants to chat.
Ondiame, Ligaratus.
Hello, my kid. Tizo and I, we were just reminiscing on old times.
Tizo was happy to have Volfred back among the Nightwings once again.
Thank you, Tizo. I'm happy to be back among the Nightwings as well. Though you understand why we were forced to be apart for so long, don't you?
Tizo indicates he understands full well.
I trust that Tarek provided some good company and song during the intervening time.
Tizo confirms he did enjoy travelling alongside the Lone Minstrel for some time.
And there he is, right on cue.
Something I can do for you, Volfred, sir? Volfred laughs warmly at this.
No, Tarek. We are well enough for now. Tizo and I, we were just remembering the time when we first met, the three of us.
Tizo was rather apprehensive then, as I recall.
He was merely being circumspect, I'm sure. Tizo has the sharpest instincts of all.
But the bite he gave to you, sir, it left a permanent impression, did it not?
It did indeed. Consider it a mark of friendship. May it stay with me for all my days. It's a good reminder that, despite the challenges we faced together in the past, my time with the Nightwings has been extraordinary.
Likewise, can I say the same, sir? Tizo shares the sentiment as well. Rolf returns to you.
I should apologize to him. Here we are, talking of a history you do not share. Believe me when I say we're skipping over many of the bad parts. What I mean is, it isn't my intention to exclude you, to be wax nostalgic. The Nightwings that you know, we are a strange assortment, are we not? Those of us who share some kinship from the past, I suppose we cannot help but seek some warmth in it. But it should not be to the exclusion of the friendships that we forge right now. So please, why don't you join us for a bit?
Together you, Volfred, Tizo, and the Lone Minstrel talk a while about the times gone by. The three of them are pleased to be back in one another's company again, having grown close through shared experience in the past. Just the same, they've welcomed you into the group. In spite of the hardships you face, some of these idle moments that you share together may one day form memories you think back on with fondness. Soon the conversation winds down, though it lifted all your spirits for a while. Ah. Let's read the book. Violanthius, in the words of Uncanarans. How very crafty of our muzzled friend Jomware, that one quite so diminutive as he, did manage to prevail against the hive titan called Violanthius. Despoiler of the valley, Violanthius did fall at last into a deadly trap, which doubtless he deserved. Crushed under the weight of 16,000 tons of beetle dung, he was, though how our Jomware gathered all this stuff only sent it crashing down, he has refused to say. From the hive titan flowed a fresh, rejuvenating spring, which gladdens up that valley's desolation quite a bit. As for Jomware, why, he and his legendary jawblade set a most impressive mark of valor, to which this one aspires. Impressive work, Jomware. But also... Sylvia's horse-headed. Without warning, from the cinders and seething rock that gushed forth from the sea and soil at the foot of Black Basin, rose the mare titan Sylvias. She broke the land beneath her burning hooves, winning vengeance upon those who thwarted dullness. We the eight, we were divided then, and blinded by the smoke, heat, and thunder. But for the grace of Mother Trieste Tithys, all would have been lost. With unswerving concentration did Saint Trieste then invoke the old enchantments, inscribed upon the holy sceptre which she bore. The land burst into starlight, rending Sylvius in twain. Her visage now strikes fear into the hearts of her foul kind, not ours. And the Night Triumvirates, which is still saying prevail over your adversaries to reveal more pages. Maybe the true Nightwings have a page? In the Tempers, in the words of Hope. Mer, the Horned One, formed the Tempers upon his own ideals. Ingrained in this triumvirate are basic truths about the dual roles of strength and gentleness. The Horned One, he has had a dualistic nature for as long as he and I consider each a friend. The story, as I'm told, about Mer's youth described no one I know. All of us are capable of more. I once was an imp that could not write. Mer once was a man that could not think. The Tempers once were ordinary folk. Now they rise to greatness, always striving, never overreaching. They are not like Mer himself, rather, they are what Mer wished he could be. And that's another thing I like, is just like how they kind of frame the Commonwealth as founded on good ideals that have since been corrupted, is each of the triumvirates really embodies a positive quality of some kind. even if it's been changed in such a way that it's not so positive anymore. But it's still very much that quality. There's a lot of a kind of moral nuance. I don't know. Sandra, anything to say? No. Same to you. Well, let's continue our journey, I suppose. And we fly to the Valley of Jomware. Away! And here we are.
Secretavis.
Spring of Jomware has always flown forth from the crushed carapace of Violantius, the legend of whose demise is a rather sordid tale. Perhaps you have already read it in the book. Yeah, just now. Not all believe the book exists, of course, nor the greater titles, nor the rites. I have encountered exiles believing that this title perished quite by accident, rather than by a cunning trap laid for by Jomware many. They took the title for a common beast. Perhaps the stars shine down upon out-of-the-way locales such as this one, to ensure that they alone shall witness the proceedings. And again, we've got that good, unreliable world building where most of this, like, apart from the rites, we never really see direct influence of the scribes. They could just be mythical religious figures, for all we functionally know. Yeah, these are just things I appreciate. That way gives us vocation time. This way gives us a quick path to the Spring of Jomware. Sure, let's do that. You'd love me some expediency. Nobody wants to talk? As you look about the barren waste stretching in every direction, the lone minstrel approaches and asks a moment of your time. Reader, I believe I have located something of some value. It was cast aside near to where we landed. Perhaps we could make use of it. He hands to you the item that he found and encourages you to take the rest of the day to rest and pursue your vocations. Oh, okay, we're getting that anyway. Howler droppings. Can sell it to Ron. Let's work with a companion. Well, those were 3 companions that aren't with us anymore. Thanks, Overlay. Having gleaned knowledge from the Book of Rites, you can impart some of its teachings. As each exile's path towards enlightenment is personal, you will have to mentor one at a time. And yes, this just gives people XP. And everyone's on level 3, except the one over here who is still level 1. So, well, level 2 actually can't read the chat, it's in the way. Not the chat, but the event log. Anyway, so let's just chat with Vulcan for a bit.
Certainly I would appreciate your point of view.
You illustrate to Volfred some of the intricacies of the rites, focusing on how all 3 in a triumvirate can move and act as one mind. You sense he grasps some of the concepts. Could be worse.
So, I must say, my kin, your understanding of the rites is more than I expected.
Does that skill do again? Ah, yes. Well, guess we're carrying on then. To the Spring of Jomware. Away, but not very far away. Here in the desolate sprawl of Jomware Valley, you encounter a messenger who comes to deliver news and rumours from the other side. The news this time pertains to Jodariel, whom you liberated at the fall of Surliam. You learn Jodariel's past transgressions have all been forgiven. She soon was to be reinstated on the blood board on the presumption that she wanted her old status back. Welcome back, you're forgiven. Would you like to go back to our war? In fact, she was offered an especially prestigious leadership position in the First Vale. For a demon such as she could not be seen in the streets. What were children think? The First Vale, an elite blood border platoon shrouded in secrecy, other than the famous results of its operations. The Commonwealth's veiled leaders always were surrounded by sentinels in similar garb. So yeah, if you'd like to, everything is forgiven, and we love you now, honest. Now if you could just hide your identity forever and go serve in our special forces. But she refused the gesture. Rather bluntly, the report suggests. Good. Instead, she sought Volfred's agents, as well as several of her former fostered sons and daughters. Wait, what? I didn't know you did that. You never talked about that. And so, the ranks of the revolution pushed on. The last part of the messenger's news must have been damaged in transit, though appears to be in Jaddario's own words. All you can tell is that it says, "Await." You thank the messenger for relaying this information. Your companions are excited to discuss the news. Do you think she still has her horns now that she's back up there?
Having someone of Jaddariel's will and stature with us on the other side should pave the way toward a brighter future.
Tiazo is fired up about the news of Jaddariel's return to the Commonwealth. Wonder what the rest of her message said. We can envision it. A demon such as she set loose within the Commonwealth. She is an inspiration to us all, or to this night she is, at least. The news of Jaddariel's liberation fills you and your fellow exiles with newfound resolve. Plus one hope to everyone. Good luck, Jodie. We love you. Oh, hey, Ron's here. Hey, you guys, where's your friend? You know, the big one with the horns, likes frowning, stuff like that. Something happened there or what? Heard a crazy story, she just flew on out of here or something. Anyways. Excellent talk. We can now buy multiple serums. Don't care. You should have these rockets. I want that handful of stardust. Flame leech after dousing the adversary's power bearer's Pyre recovers. Ooh, nice. And I need to spend money with you anyway to unlock pages, so let's buy a flame leech. I think Rolf might like that. Oligotish. Come see us again, guys. There you go, 2 more pages. For John Ware Many Mains Travel Guide. Downside climate. And remembering what voice I did for John Ware. I know of no polite way to describe the climate here. It oppresses every living thing except perhaps the native flora in a few specific areas. Once more, the recommended course is to keep moving. Moving keeps you warm when it's cold, or when it's very hot, you use what strength you can to move to somewhere where you can think and breathe. The weather in the downside seems intrinsic to the different regions, which my good friend Molten Malik shall describe. Shelter can be difficult to find, and you cannot stay in it for very long. Perhaps, however, shelter can accompany you rather than constrain you. What system could we be alluding to there? Downside dining. How to sustain oneself with food and drink in such a place as this. The less said of it, the better. Do not complain. Observe, and above all, keep moving. Sources of sustenance avail themselves to those with keener sense. In warmer climates, search the ground and break of day for subterranean. In colder places, dig for them. Give them purpose. Drinking pools are rare, but moisture in abundance outside of the sand bowls. Sun is poisonous. Take only what you need. The downside limits any opportunity for excess, but it provides enough amenities to meet the needs of life. One who withstands it cannot help but feel a sense of gratitude. Still more to unlock there. And celestial landmarks. Oh, it says there's still more to unlock there. Thought I'd been to all of them now. Oh no, the necessary asteroids to it. I oftentimes think the carapace of the hive titan of the Elanthea shall be an everlasting blemish on an almost splendid bit of land. But John Ware in his brashness felled the monster with a certain flair. Then the moon shone through the ridges of the massive carapace, and shined upon the pooling ichor, turning it into the freshest nectar ever to be tasted. Why did you taste it? The spring shall flow eternally, and those who walk within it shall experience the resplendent glory of the land. The stars began to fall there in the spring with regularity. We now know how soon again that they shall do so, and we wish for you to see it for yourself. Yeah, if you kill a giant scorpion, it starts bleeding everywhere, but then the moonlight hits the blood, and you think, well, that's fine, let's give it a drink. This seems inadvisable, I'll be real. I mean, sure, I might only be 1 mind rather than 100. But I think... Anyway, let's do the thing and stop me smack-talking people who've been dead for centuries and also are fictional. The mood is more dour than usual as you make preparations for the coming rite. A hush has fallen over your fellow exiles, and a sense of dread hangs in the air. At least one of your companions is unfazed. Yeah. We sense the influence of one of our own. She is nearby, her mind corrupted, calls out screaming. Canst thou hear it, perhaps? She speaks of Witch of Milda, the adversary whom you expect to face this night. The witch, she doth revere an ancient god, undying and unyielding, on this land and on her consciousness. We may attempt an exorcism here, for the conditions are unique. She may not be expecting us to be averting you. However, it is a risk upon her mind and upon mine own. Although a worthwhile risk, perhaps. Bertrude seems to think that Milda can be weakened somehow through the coming rite. Then, the stars above begin to shimmer with their strange light. That's interesting. So many titans. There, the Star of Isla. Our adversary worshipped it, whom it represents. Fixate upon that star, reading one. If thou so darest invoke its power, do so, and our adversary of Milda, she should be emboldened, but also left vulnerable to our own sorceries. We may yet limit her ambitions thus. Okay, I can get behind this. So turn off Zilbiath, turn off Violanthius, turn on Isla, make things hard. And also now we have Shax. Your adversaries shall all return from banishment when all are banished.
Shax of 6 shoulders.
Yeah, I mean, I usually get around them by winging them rather than banishing them anyway, so... Is this a terrible idea? Perhaps. Also, I love even the wonderful Logan Cunningham having to put a slightly awkward pause there into Shax's 6 shoulders.
Tis time
It's
again.
really hard to say
You
Shax's 6
exiles of the
shoulders.
Night Wings. The 8 scribes summon you to the spring of Jomir. The adversaries you
saying
are to
Jomir
confront
now.
shall be the
Well, whatever.
withdrawn.
I'm sticking with it.
Snuff out their
There's
fire's
16,000
flame
tons
and
all
show
done.
your worth. Now prepare yourselves.
I'll work on it.
What have we here? Ye have returned once more unto our presence. Sense something among ye. Who?
Bertrude slithers forth and gazes at her adversary.
Thou, maggot. We should have known.
But Bertrude does not respond.
Ye Nightwings. That one shall be of little benefit to me. That one's sorceries are a mere pittance to the overwhelming might of Islam. Soon ye shall see.
Reading 1. Thou invoked the Star of Isla. So then beware, through our sorceries shall the Milda be cast into a hopeless doubt upon her faith, about her faith upon her God. It shall be done if we prevail, but only if our own mind shall perhaps be forfeit otherwise. Well, that's something we should have discussed beforehand. It seems that through the outcome of this rite, he who is Milda shall be permanently weak. Bertrude shall instead. I mean, I'm
Choose
doing it
quickly your triumvirate.
less about weakening of Nilda, more about, like, making her not try and worship a star titan that wants to eat the world, you know.
Volfred.
Terence.
Look at the numbers. 59, 56, 51, 47. Gilman and Bertrude it is.
Bertrude. Sir Gilman, it is done.
This knight is unafraid of our most terrifying foe. For the most part.
Now then, Nightwings, you wish to mock Islach. Ye, in your infinite foolishness, shall be among the first to suffer.
Begin.
You're right there. Ah.
Well, now that was exciting. Farewell for now, witch.
Oh, I thought I had the orb. I didn't have the orb. Problems there.
There goes the witch Udmilda.
Now I've got the orb.
The night wings are first to strike the adversary's flame. An opportunity.
That I am not going to take. That looks like a thing I am not going to take.
Seemingly unfair. Such a display.
Okay, yeah, no, I asked for that. Wow, 34 hit, that's a lot.
One of our own. Seeketh ye the lifeblood for thyselves, yes. Wretched witch. Tampering with eldritch forces of which you know is not. You forfeit everything for an abomination for the stars. Quaint. We thought perchance ye sought the true enlightenment. Yet ye reveal yourselves to be as narrow as the thing to which ye now consort. Islach shall devour thee as all the rest.
Ah, the foul witch Udmilda. Would that she
Yeah,
served
right.
the scribes as faithfully as the
Nah,
monstrosity
gotta time
which she
that right.
adores. The Worm Knight somehow did it.
By being fast as hell. Thanks, I guess.
Udmilda banished.
Yep. Should have aimed that better.
Be gone.
As ever, apologies if my commentary loses some of this.
Most foul.
Wow. Yeah, because basically when I try and talk, that happens.
How brazen.
Come on. Too far. There we go. And Flame Leech gives us some health back. That is good. That is very good. I'd forgotten about that. Oh, that was not what I meant to do, but sure. Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Blow against the
Well, that
adversary's
was...
pyre.
I didn't deserve that.
The Nightwing shall prevail at this rate.
You're right there. This is my new special move. I call it the Lamb's Ass. That was a nudge. On it.
It is done.
I did not think I'd make that.
The Nightwings prevail yet again. The scribes themselves surely have taken
I have
note.
apparently learnt to play this game reasonably well.
Thus end this night's proceedings.
How can this be? How can this be? Isla, answer us. Isla!
Witch of Milda continues with her screaming, having been defeated in the right. You observe Bertrude there, fixed in a meditative pose. There. Milda. Relent. Relent. Thy God has not abandoned thee, because thy God is dead. Thy God is dead. Pray to him all thou likest, yet it shall do thee no good. As Bertrude recedes into the shadows, and Milda slumps down, staring at nothing before her.
Impossible. This cannot be. Answer us. Answer us.
So Milda suffered -5 hope permanently. May the scribes have mercy, but also could she maybe not worship gods that want to eat the world? Just saying.
Always is there greater knowledge to be gained.
Words I've lived my life by, let's be real. Rank up for
What
Volfred.
is it you recall there, Volfred, my old friend?
The rights demand we act as of one mind, in perfect unison, harmony, free of any doubt. I've grown more accustomed to being a part of the Nightwings today.
Great. While using shield, shields his allies as well. Like, it's good, but I never use shield. They're just sap ups are good. 21 hope is a good number.
Apparently, the exiled Bertrude is
This
committed
land
to the
so
path.
rife with eldritch knowledge, long forbidden in the Commonwealth. We learn the stuff of fear itself. Well, that's a really threatening way of putting it, Bertrude. Good. Crone. Oh god, I just said my good crone. Is this a night before Christmas? For those of you who didn't watch terrible Netflix movies that I reference all the time, keep wondering, I guess. While we're losing, take -10 damage. Yes, thank you. Crone.
Until the next right.
What a terrible movie that I will end up watching again, won't I? After you defeated the Withdrawn rather soundly, there is little time for you to rest as yet. The night beckons, and the next rite reveals itself to be a vital one.
It is already time, reader. Conceive yourself. The coldness of the season now presents to us another chance.
He heads out straight away, and you follow in turn. Indeed, among the remaining stars, you see one with which you are familiar now burns ever brightly. We're here already. How's the plan look now? 63%. And it's playing the essence.
Already are the Nightwings summoned back to Mount Rodiel. Picture the rights as a wheel broken free from a black wagon. It is turning uncontrollably. Soon it shall reach a sudden stop. We should have several chances left for someone to go free. Either us or else our adversaries. Not both.
1 second. Volfred, my dude, you're doing a number on my throat. Like, it's fine, but maybe talk less on occasion.
What is at stake each time is further complicated now, I must admit, knowing we have so few opportunities remaining. Those who we send back into the Commonwealth, should our plans somehow fail, they may look back upon their exile with fondness. So returning to the Commonwealth is not inherently of mercy, I don't think. Moreover, there are also those among us who we count on to prevail in rights. We need them on the Nightwings just as much as we need them in the Commonwealth. We cannot simply grow our numbers here, given the circumstances. So, who stays, who goes? These choices affect us all. No pressure there, my kin. Now, I don't know about you, but I should go and take my leave for now. Let's set forth again at daybreak.
Fate revealed for Shax. In words of Under King Horus. Much can be learned of bravery from the tale of Haub the Swallow, the imp who alone felled the muscular and altogether terrifying bone titan called Shax's 6 shoulders. 6 shoulders sat listless. Wow, you're just putting all the sibilances into one phrase. His appalling frame refusing to be budged. None dared approach the withered fiend whose plague had spread half across the valley floor. Undeterred, Haub sprang into action whilst we but watched. The little one, he flew into the gaping maw of Shax and lodged himself inside the monster's throat. Shax began then to cough, cough, and cough until the valley shook. 6 shoulders breathed his last and fell. His putrid flesh then fizzled and was gone. Yet our friend Imp remained. That sounds like it was probably accidental. Just saying. So yeah, only a couple of titans still to read about. We've got like Dullness and Plurness, and that's it. Which is good, because we're running out of time. Only one more Celestial Landmark to go to. Onward! Up the mountain we fly! And where do we want to go? Scaleman gains favour, or Pamitha gains? Let's give Pamitha some favour. What did I just say about speaking less? You make landing upon Mount Lodiel, where Volfra pulls you aside while the others complete the post-flight inspection. He puffs at his pipe before speaking out.
Ligaratus.
Reader, as you know, I now wear the raiments once again. This means that I myself may soon be worthy to regain my freedom in the eyes of the 8 scribes. Know, however, that it is not my wish to go just yet. It is true I could be of some benefit to our plan back in the Commonwealth, but I feel my place is here for the time being. Perhaps once the Nightwings are on a surer footing in their path, my time shall come. Those are my feelings on the matter, and I want you to know. I shall, of course, defer to you. Our path is not to contradict the reader's will.
Aritoros.
Anyway, I trust that all of us, yourself included, shall find our freedom. If not soon, then by when all of this is over.
And the Beyond a Crystal seeks Volfrid, which also means Sandra might want to chat. Yeah. Why are you doing this? Reaching out to me again, like this? I have been abandoned in this blasted rock more times than you can count, reader, and each time I have laughed it off, like so. Such a convincing and healthy laugh. I fear it will be different this time. Before I knew that someone else would come around and pick up where the previous idiot left off, but now... She scoffs, and falls silent for a time. Well, it seems there may not be a next time after this if what I am to understand about the stars out there is even half true. So then I can anticipate an eternity of utter solitude without even the blasted rights to keep me company. Understand that while I may be an apparition in a glass to you, I yet retain a shred of self. Do not happily foresee that outcome. And yet, you keep on coming back to me like this. If this is all in service of a torment, then you are most cruel, O lovely reader. Commendably so, I have to say. So then, am I to understand you wish to spend more time with me thus, knowing full well the stars soon to put an end to this little affair? As if in answer to her question, you feel what seems to be the Beyonder crystal itself. No, we'll stay and chat. You focus your mind and remain where you are there with Sandra, in the confines of the Beyonder crystal, and remain there with her for some time. No words need be exchanged between the two of you, and in the darkness there, for once, she does not feel alone. Soon enough, however, she bids you to depart.
Caricumta nastis.
You shall leave those idiots of yours listless if you remain here for too long. Be gone already, and let me know if you have need of me. Silent protagonist / 873-year dead ghost trapped in a rock is the hot new ship. But anyway, should we do the last? I'm always prepared to cut your idiots and their egos down to size. Who shall it be? The only one we haven't had. You asked Sandra to administer one of her special trials for Walford. That fancy talking sap, you mean? I should be interested to see if he's learned something since last we sparred like this. Then let's bring him forth. Soon Volfred appears in heat of the summons.
So it's my turn then, is it? Let's see what we can do, my kin.
Sandra appears and unfastens her mask. Listen well, Sam. You answer to me here.
Namorente.
As you will, O Sandra the Unseen.
Proper as ever, then. Though I wonder if you have the wherewithal that you project. Show me then what you can do without the benefit of those whom you would lead. And let's see if you and your lovely reader have reached a thorough understanding as of yet. I too am interested to find this out. Thanks for running directly into my aura, that was very nice of you. And again. And again. Ah, there you got both of us. Ah, thought I could just about squeeze that. Thought I had that as well. Nah, see, I forgot that his dash was a teleport there, and that would mean not occupying the intervening space for a moment. Not sure how the geometry of that works, but sure, I guess. Okay, yeah, I wasn't sure what was going on with them or me there. I'm not going to be able to make it in time, am I? Come on, come on, come on! Yeah! Oh, and I've got Flame Leech still active, so this could keep going for a while. Well, that was rather more simple. I mean, it won't keep going for a while if that keeps happening. Ah, I thought that still maxes out at 100. Boo. Sandra, you need to talk to your dudes because they are not playing well in this trial. Like, I'm not sure I deserved that easy of a win.
I am grateful for the privilege of your time, Sandra.
Flattery shall never get you anywhere with me, Sam. Nonetheless, your performance was sufficient and you passed my test. Thus, congratulations are in order to you and to your lucky reader. Now farewell. And that's all the scribe trials. We're closing in on the end of this game, really. As far as I remember.
Serio Kubraret.
I have not seen that Sandra in some time. She has not changed a bit.
Wow, you got your robes off quickly.
But it would seem she left something for us, did she?
Lose bow. Wilfred's blink goes further than usual. Honestly, I'm not going to use that because I'm overshooting with the blink all the dang time, and that will just make it worse. Yep, that sounds like a dreadful idea, but I have all the legendaries now. Does Sandra have anything to say now that I've done? No. And I'm leaving here because that's how you trigger the autosave. Did it autosave? I didn't see the save thing come up. Ah, there's the save thing. Okay, and that's because it is now 5 o'clock. So that is me done. We will go up the mountain and do the liberation thing again on Saturday. So all that remains is the wrap up. Thanks so much for everyone who's watched. Thanks for staying to the end. It means a lot. If you've enjoyed this, if you watch this, you know where to find me. But just in case, this is twitch.tv/Serasent, SERASENT. You'll see it on the title card in a minute. I will be playing through to the end of Pyre, quite possibly next time, and then on to other games besides. It'll be something else of a story bent. Honestly, I don't know what it'll be. It'll be something. I'll decide that at some point. Hopefully before I start playing it. And then hopefully, when I decide on something, it won't immediately refuse to stream, like last time. Anyway, I'll stop doing that now. Yes. If you've enjoyed it, feel free to give us a follow on Twitch to get notified as to when I go live, but it is every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 2 o'clock British time. That is 9 AM Eastern, 6 Pacific. Other time zones are available. And yes, if you miss anything, VODs for the last 2 months are still up on my Twitch. For everything else, you can go to my archive, to my YouTube stream archive, which is also Serasent. Subscribe there, and it'll let you know when I upload new things, which happens irregularly. I really need to get back to uploading Paradise Killer. That will happen, promise. Yes, if you've enjoyed this nonsense and this weirdly meandering wrap-up, you can, of course, cheer or sub on Twitch if you feel like supporting me financially, but honestly, it's really not important. Just show up and be chill. It's all good here. Yes, if you need any updates on the stream, on me, on the general state of whatever is currently on fire on the internet, or the latest drama and quiz, you should check out my Twitter at Waruce, that's W-A-R-U-C-E. And if you want to see me in another context, then you can check out on Saturday nights, twitch.tv/The Bard's Playhouse, that's TheBardsPlayhouse, where at Saturdays at 6:30 Eastern, that is 11:30 at night British time, because I don't sleep, who does, where I am playing in a Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition Fall of London Chronicle. It's a lot of fun. We've had a couple of weeks of technical difficulties, but we should, touch wood, be back this week, Saturday, 6:30 Eastern. And I think that is everything. So, I should say again, thanks for watching. I love you all, and I will see you on Saturday. Goodbye.